Notice how I'm using my knee to lift this. And all the discount tire guys right now are having a heart attack. Oh, you're going to pinch your finger in the caliper. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, don't be such a baby. All right, we're going to be showing you how to take a tire off a car and put a new tire on it from start to finish. My name's Mike. I've been training with my dad for the last 8 months, and he's been doing this for 30 years. First step, you want to grab a nice bright light so that you can see where the jacking point is located. In this case, it's right here. It's really important that you find the correct jacking point, because if you don't and you jack from somewhere like this, you will damage the car, and that is not a good outcome. Once we get the car lifted up, usually that's about enough to remove the wheel, but you can always adjust if needed. All right, next, we noted that this car has some plastic caps. So we've got this plastic tool here to remove them. I already pre-removed them. Some of these cars come with tools, specialized tools to remove these. We couldn't find a tool in this case, so we improvised. I like this little tool because it's plastic and it's not going to scratch up the metal. All right, once you get those plastic caps off, you want to identify what size that lug nut is. In this case, it's going to be a 17. I've already got that preloaded right here on the gun. We're going to take these bad boys off. There's no lock on this. You want to be careful not to hit the customer's wheel with your socket as you're doing this, because you don't want to damage the wheel. Even though this is a stock wheel, you still want to be careful, because these stock wheels are pretty expensive nowadays. It's not like in the old days where you had steel wheels. All right. Next step, you're going to want to release the air, because you can't dismount a tire with the air in it. I'm going to go ahead and mark every wheel as well as we dismount it. This is going to prevent from us having to reprogram its TPMS sensors, and it's also going to prevent any kind of mishaps when it comes to offsets. If you don't mark these wheels and they have an offset or they're staggered, you're going to have a lot of annoying little problems to deal with. All right, first step in dismounting this tire. You're going to want to make sure you protect your TPMS sensor by putting the valve stem either at 12 or 6 o'clock, never in front of the scoop. This is the best practice here. This is called breaking the bead. On the front of the tire, you only have to break one section. On the back, you want to break all around so that you can clamp from the outside, not from the inside. If we only break this section, we can't clamp this section. That's the reason why we break all around on the back. If this was a front mount, we would have to break all around on the front, but that's not the case with this. All right, now, you're going to want to line this table up like so, because it's going to make it a lot easier for you to set this up how it's supposed to be. Notice when I picked up, I used my knees. I used my knees, my arms, my back. I didn't grab it like this off the ground. We're not trying to prove a point here. We're not trying to break our back. We're just trying to change a tire. Once we set it up right here, we're going to clamp it in, lock it in, making sure that it clamps correctly, because this is a very dangerous part of this job, where if you don't clamp it correctly, it 100% can jump out on you, hurt you, and hurt someone else. The head was already set up because my dad is working independently of me, setting up the other tires. So this head is already where it's supposed to be. Next, most important part of this whole process in my book, you're going to want to lube up this tire. You guys can let me know what's the most important step in y'all's book, but in my book, lube. Without lube, a tire man is nothing. We lubed it up. We're going to leave that down just temporarily so we can get our bar in there. Lift it up to get it the hell out of the way. Now we're going to pull this tire over the duck head. I want everybody in the comments to cry about how I'm scratching the wheel right now, even though I'm not. If you know, you know. No scratching is going on. But I want to hear all the crybabies in the comments. Crybabies know who you are. Cry for me. Okay, once we've got it taken apart like so, we're going to get under here and we're going to give it a little more lube. This lube is so that the tire can come up easily when you put the bar in on this side. Once again, there is a method to this madness. One arm here, lift, pull the bar over. I want everybody one more time to cry for me in the comments about how we're scratching up this tire. Wheel. All right. Go ahead and release the head. And I hope you guys noticed that I was, in fact, premeditating that tire slam the whole time. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and set the valve stem up right here. That's to protect the sensor, even though there is no sensor. Absolutely no sensor. Take a look at that. It doesn't matter. Best practice is to always treat every wheel like there is a sensor. Now we're getting ready to mount this one. We're going back to the lube here. If you guys were paying attention, you'll remember that lube is the tire man's best friend. And without lube, the tire man is nothing. Fight me. Fight me about it. Fight me, please. I want to hear stupid comments. I'm so fed up with them. You guys had never seen me on camera before. Maybe you had. I don't know. But I'm the guy that you're arguing with in the comments. My dad doesn't have time to look at comments. He's too busy being a 30-year vet that's retired. I'm the one you've been fighting with in the comments. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and spin this bad boy on. Once it's on there, we're going to bring that valve stem back around. Again, this is best practice. There's no sensor in there for us to break. We're going to do it anyways. We're going to set this section here. My cameraman's getting distracted. We're going to set this section here. It's just a moth, boy. Come over here. Come over here. We're going to set this up here. Whoop, that went too far. Hang on. All right, here we go. All right, we're going to set that over the duck tail. Here's a good way to remember this duck head. Duck head, duck body, duck tail. We'll set that up like so. Make sure you clock your yellow dot. You want to line your yellow dot up with the valve stem. And wedge the bar, and we're on. We're going. Whoop. I'm still the new guy. Remember that when you're judging me. Okay, we're going to set this up again. I didn't have enough pressure on this. That's why that happened. Now we're going to go again. We're going to wedge it. We're going to spin it, spin it, spin it, spin it, and lift this. Bam, you're on. Okay. Notice how that dot didn't quite line up, so we're going to move that. Not a good situation to be in. You want it to line up the first time. I'm still working on that. It lined up now. All right. You always want to have the valve stem facing this way. I guess we can call it 12 o'clock. Once it starts taking some air, go ahead and release the clamps, because if you don't, it'll get stuck here. The clamp will get wedged between the tire and the wheel, and that's a pain in the ass to solve, and it can damage your tire. So you don't want to do that. When you're setting the bead, you want to listen for 2 pops. Pop number 1. And here comes pop number 2. Always put the tire where it's going to pop, put the section that's going to pop away from you, because if you don't, that lube will hit you in the face. Before we started, we did go and check the door of the car for the correct pressure. Really important that you check the door. Don't guess, check the door. You want the correct pressure, not the pressure that you think it should be at. This pressure is 35. I made a modification to this machine so that I can have a digital gauge here, so I'm not having to do it afterwards. Right now we're at 34.8. Now we're at 35. Now this tire is ready to be balanced. Come on over this way, Gus. We're going to balance it now. All right, for the balancing, you want to take off any weights that it might already have. Here's a weight, here's some weights. Here's some more weights over here. This was some wonky balancing. We don't ever really do this. I guess it's okay. Couldn't tell you. All right, get those weights off. I've found that oftentimes it'll ask for weights in similar positions. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that sticker up now, because you don't want to tape over old sticker residue. That's how you end up with missing weights down the road. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that sticker residue. All right, got the center cap off. This machine requires that we input the wheels width. It's all found right here. Check it out, in case you didn't know. 9 by 20. All right, before we put this bad boy up on the balancer, we want to choose the right cone. This is going to be the right cone. We got it. Now, when I lift this, we don't have a fancy elevator. So again, I'm going to use my knee to lift it up. Set up the cone. I've noticed that using 2 cones with this machine works better than using 1. Oh, hold on. Technical difficulty. Maybe that's not going to work with this one. Okay. We got that cone right there. We put the wing nut in, and here's something that's been happening with this machine, and we're about to warranty it out. That pops out. Is the machine defective? I would say yes. Special shout out to you. I think it was Dodge Rocket or something like that. You gave me this idea. Not sure if I'm even giving the right person credit, but if you're watching and you gave me this idea for putting this back on, thank you very much. This has been a huge help for dealing with this when it happens.
Very easy.
Okay.
It's very easy.
Now,
Sure.
release it. Let's go for round 2. That on there, get the wing nut on there. All right, that was a success. This is debatable. Take the sticker off, don't take the sticker off. My dad says always do it, so I do it. But I have done it once or twice by accident without taking it off, and I haven't had any issues. All right, come over this way. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna measure the distance of the machine to the wheel. Then we're gonna set up the size of the wheel. That's a 20. Then we're gonna set up the width. If you guys remember, it was a 9. Once you've got that set up, this machine is ready to roll. Give it a little spin. and you press the start button.
It looks like it's going really slow, but it's actually going really fast.
Okay, we got zeros on the first spin. Now I need the expert to come and give me some input. Dad, this gave me zeros.
Well, this can happen.
Here's your mic.
It can happen every now and then. It can happen in 1 in 100, 1 in 500, 1 in 500,000. You just never know when that's going to happen. That wheel is just so straight. And that's why it's zeroed out.
Okay, now just for posterity, I'm going to spin it again and see if we get zeros again. Because it is a front wheel.
It looks like it's going so fast. It's going really fast.
So now it's asking me for 25s, which a lot of times you can just leave those off at the end if it's asking for it so you don't start chasing weight. But I'm going to go ahead and put them on now, just because it'll make me feel better. We did mention in a comment, because there's a guy that was saying, oh, the cheap Chinese replicas don't work, blah, blah, blah. I'm a Coates Hunter fanboy, blah, blah, blah. Right? So what I'm getting at is we're going to find out if this car has a vibration, because every 2 weeks after a new service like this, I follow up with the client. That guy in the comments was saying, oh, you'll never know because not everybody complains. Guess what? We're not waiting around for people to complain. We're asking for feedback so that we know if it's going well or not. We don't want to live in delusion and think that we're doing everything fine, but the customer has issues. We want to know the truth. So we reach out to the customer. Now back up, boy, because I'm going to spin. Oh, no, I'm not going to spin it yet. Getting ahead of myself. Okay. It's asking me for another quarter. Where did I put my blade? Here it is. All right. Check out the laser on this machine. This is like an $800 machine with a laser. And there's guys in the comments telling me I should have spent $10,000 on a Coates. What a joke. What a joke. It's one of those jokes. It's so funny I forgot to laugh. Now, we're going to set that right there. Push that down. And now we're going to spin it. Now, check it out, boy.
Now it looks like it's going backwards. But
Take a look at the screen. Let's see what we end up with, and be careful when this wheel is spinning. Okay, we got zeros. I feel a lot better now. You guys tell me what y'all would have done in the comments. Other tire techs.
it looked like it was going backwards, but it was actually going so fast. It looked like it was going backwards.
All right. Next step, we're going to mount this or install this, whatever the correct terminology is. We're going to install this on the vehicle. Remember how we mark these? RF, that's right front, or FR if you like, front right. Whatever confuses you the most, that's what I would do. Okay, now this is a very challenging part of this job, for me at least. For my dad, it's cake. For me, it's a pain in the ass. So I'm going to show you how a new guy struggles to do this. And then my dad can show you how quickly he does it. Okay, he just handed me the socket. You got to have a socket with the lug nut ready to go, so you're not searching for it. Notice how I'm using my knee to lift this. And all the discount tire guys right now are having a heart attack. Oh, you're going to pinch your finger in the caliper. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, don't be such a baby.
Yeah.
I tell you, the first time you do that, you'll never do that crap again.
Yeah.
All right, so we nailed it. That was luck, guys. Normally, I am struggling with these. That was luck. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and install these. I want to give them a good 5 turns. The reason that we want to do that is because we want to make sure that we're not going to cross thread anything here. Last thing you want to do is cross thread a customer's lug nut. Okay, now let me abuse some of my equipment here. Record me abusing the equipment. Okay? Need you guys to cry about that in the comments too, please and thank you. Okay, now this has a speed setting here, low, high. I like to do these on low just to get them set. Once I got them all set, I'll switch it over to high and I'll hit it. All right. Once we got them, once we've hit them, we're going to lower the car, but not all the way. We're going to still leave it. We're just going to have it touch the ground. Then we're going to torque it. Let me search for my torque wrench. We've got everything set up on these carts. It's easier to keep track of shit. All right, here's my torque wrench. Next, I don't have all these torques memorized yet. So what I do is I go over to ChatGPT and I search for the car's make and model. I don't know, all these always confuse the hell out of me, so let me take a look and see what it is. It's an Audi Q7. Audi Q7, and it is a, we got the year in here somewhere.
I can't see.
2018 Q7. Audi Q7. Torque specs for lug nuts. That's what I'm putting in here. And we are going to be at 118, so we're going to do 120. Where do we leave our torque wrench, son? All right. Okay. Okay. Did I hit them all? I'll tell you, the best way to know if you hit them all is to just, after the cross section, the cross pattern, is just do a circle pattern. Bam. That's it. It's done.
Done.
Okay, there you go. That was installing a new tire from start to finish, from the mount to the balance to the torque, all of it. You guys let me know in the comments if y'all want to see any other videos. Go over to my dad so we can sign out.